Ladies and gentlemen, gather around, because today we're diving into a story that's as slick as the chrome on the Phantom Corsair. And trust me, this car is a showstopper. Imagine a car built in 1938, so ahead of its time that people back then must have thought it was designed by aliens, or at least by someone who had time-traveled to the future. Now, if you've ever dreamed of cruising down the highway in something that looks like it could be a Batmobile prototype, well, the Phantom Corsair is your ride. This masterpiece was designed to make heads turn, but not just for the looks. Oh no, it's got the performance to back it up. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the wild ride through history. But before we get started, make sure to hit that subscribe button, folks, because you're going to want to stick around for more cool content like this. Trust me, you don't want to miss the next one. All right, let's go full throttle into the fascinating world of the Phantom Corsair, a car that, in 1938, was so futuristic, it probably caused a few drivers to spill their coffee when they saw it on the road. The Phantom Corsair wasn't just a car, it was a statement. Built by the visionary Ruck Heinz, heir to the H.J. Heinz fortune. Yes, that's the ketchup guy. This beauty was supposed to be the car of the future, designed for the elite. We're talking about a car that cost 24,000 United States dollars back in 1938, which is like shelling out over 535,000 United States dollars today. Bowman and Schwartz, the team behind the build, crafted this thing out of aluminum with an aerodynamic shape that was so smooth it could have been sculpted by a windstorm. It looked like something straight out of a science fiction movie, and honestly, it probably would have fit perfectly in the Jetsons if they'd ever made a live-action film back then. The design is one thing, but let's talk about the power. Under the hood, a V8 engine, 4,740 cubic centimeters, pumping out 190 horsepower. That was a beastly engine back in the day. For comparison, the average family sedan in the 1930s had an engine about half that size. The Phantom Corsair wasn't just a pretty face. It could do 185 kilometers per hour, 115 miles per hour on a good day, with a max speed of 209 kilometers per hour, 130 miles per hour. That's like putting a rocket engine in a luxury yacht, folks. The Phantom Corsair weighed in at around 2,070 kilograms, 460 pounds, which is pretty hefty for a car of its size. But that didn't stop it from reaching a cruising speed of 185 kilometers per hour, 115 miles per hour. It had a length of 6,020 millimeters, 237.4 inches, width of 1,943 millimeters, 76.4 inches, and a height of 448 millimeters, 57 inches. But here's where it gets even crazier. This wasn't just any ordinary car. It was ahead of its time in features too. Forget about manual door handles. This car had electric door buttons. Yes, you just pressed a button and the doors opened. It's like the Tesla of its time. It even had a compass, altimeter, and other gadgets right on the dashboard. These were things that were not only cool, but practical for the elite drivers of the time. You didn't just drive this car, you piloted it. Inside, the Phantom Corsair was designed for luxury. The seating arrangement was quirky. 4 seats up front with the driver sitting second from the left. You know, because why not? If you're going to make a statement, you might as well break a few rules while you're at it. The back seat had room for 2 more. And get this, there was a bar for your drinks. Yes, a bar, because when you're cruising at 185 kilometers per hour, 115 miles per hour, you definitely need a cocktail, right? But wait, there's more. This car wasn't just about speed and looks. It was also designed for comfort. The suspension system was independent with adjustable shock absorbers. So while you're zipping through the streets, the car was smoothing out the bumps like you were gliding on air. Now, here's the twist in our story. Ruck Heinz, the man behind the Phantom Corsair, planned to make this into a limited production car until tragedy struck. In 1939, Heinz was killed in a car crash and the dream of a Phantom Corsair production line was dashed. His family didn't continue the venture, and the car ended up being sold off. A new owner repainted it gold, modified it a bit, and eventually sold it again. The car changed hands a few times, but it always retained that original spark of innovation. Fast forward to today, and the Phantom Corsair is part of the National Automobile Museum in Reno, Nevada. The last time I checked, this thing was as captivating as ever. I mean, just imagine walking through a museum, and suddenly you come face to face with a car that looks like it's from another century. And yet, it feels like it could belong on the streets today. And that's the story of the Phantom Corsair. It was ahead of its time, leaving everyone in the dust with its futuristic design and features. It's a piece of history that's still remembered today. Now, before you go, make sure you hit that subscribe button if you want more stories like this. And remember, if you want to become a sponsor of our channel for just $1 United States dollar, check out the link in the description below. It's a small price to pay for keeping this amazing content coming your way.